Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So we got J-Lo whining to Howard Stern of all people. I didn't even know he was still doing a show. And this is the foolishness. She might be a narc. Cause what? I just want y'all to listen to this foolishness.
Truly been loved?
No.
And do you think you really have experienced loving someone?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
And when you can't get that love back?
What I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable. It's that they're not capable.
They can't love.
They don't have it in them. They need to appreciate the little person inside of them.
They have little
need to
to
love
give.
them. Yeah.
You've been in relationships with
And
people.
they gave me what they had.
Right, but
they
it's not
gave me
enough.
all of it. Every time.
But it's this much. It's
all the
little bit.
rings, all the things I could ever want.
Right.
They tried to give me the houses, the rings, the marriage, all of it. But
they didn't love you.
They didn't.
And didn't know you.
And I didn't love myself.
Right. It's tough. This is some journey, right?
It is.
And you know, I was thinking about your music. Most of your songs are about love. They really are.
They're all about love.
Do you think you've truly been loved?
No.
It was the exasperated answer for me. Then she sat there and act like it was all of them men's fault. Ben Affleck left Jennifer Garner, who is likely nothing like you, to spin the block for you, only to divorce you. But you ain't never been loved. That's the most recent one. He left a whole marriage for you. For you. A woman that ain't never talked bad about him. Jennifer Garner ain't never sat nowhere and talked bad about Ben Affleck. I don't care what the tabloids said. I don't care how they tried to spin the narrative about what happened and this, that, and the third. She don't say nothing bad about him. She don't talk crazy about him at all. She don't say nothing about him at all. Anytime you see pictures of him and Jennifer Garner together, they smiling and co-parenting. That's what they doing. You, on the other hand, are on Howard Stern. I could have swore I didn't know he was still even doing a show, okay? But in any case, you are on Howard Stern's show telling the world that you're the one that's been trying to love all of these men, and none of them, not one of them, was capable of loving you. Ain't that something? It was the zero accountability for me. Like no accountability for being in the relationships and being the other half of those marriages, and those marriages breaking, and you just didn't have any culpability within that at all for none of them. She's married like 4 times. This right here got a quick synopsis of her dating history. It says Lopez's dating history shows she was reportedly previously engaged to her high school sweetheart, David Cruz, who she dated from 84 to 94 when she was 15 and he was 16. So that's some high school stuff, right? We don't really care about that. She then was married to Ojani Noah, whoever this guy is, from 97 to 98. You dated Diddy, which tells me everything I need to know, from 99 to 2001. Then you married Chris Judd from 2001 to 2003. Notice these relationships are very short. The longest one was the high school stuff, the kids stuff. Once she got out of the kids stuff and J-Lo started getting into the industry, because if you remember, J-Lo was a fly girl on In Living Color. This is where we first see J-Lo. This is before she's J-Lo. Okay. So she was married to Chris Judd from 2001 to 2003, was engaged to Ben Affleck from 2002 to 2004. So they broke that engagement. Ben should never have spent the block. I think he the only one that actually spent the block. Only to re-recognize why you left her in the first place. So anyway, from 2000 to 2002 to 4, she was engaged to Ben Affleck. Then she ended up getting married in the same year. This is how fast you moving on. To Mark Anthony from 2004 to 2014. And they were separated in 2011. So I think this is the one that she had her kids by, Mark Anthony. This was the longest marriage since she was kids dating that other little boy. Dated Casper Smart from 2011. Now, mind you, they were separated in 2011, and then she dated a guy in 2011. Do you see what the problem is? From 2011 to 2016, then was engaged to Alex Rodriguez, the baseball player, I do believe. From 2019 to 2021, they had been dating since 2017. So right after this Casper guy, she started dating A-Rod. Then got married to Ben 2022 to 24. Okay, so they got divorced last year. This is the face of a narcissist. She gotta be a narc. To be able to get on this internet and sit somewhere and tell anybody that she has never been loved, when it has only taken her 2.2 seconds to go from one man to the other, not to mention all the men that you slept with in between all of this. Because for as close as these marriages and engagements and all that have been, you was cheating with these other men. You was a cheat. You a cheat. And she trying to, J-Lo don't realize that the general public knows she the problem. Because you cannot be in all of these relationships, all of these engagements, all of these short-term marriages, all of these, and you're not the problem. It's not you. It's all these different men from different backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? All of these various men, they're in the entertainment industry in one way or the other. They have, like I said, they have different upbringings, different backgrounds, different viewpoints on life, all of this sort of thing. And each and every time that these marriages and relationships failed, it was because you have not been loved. Wow. Wow, Jennifer. Wow, J-Lo. It's wild that she took zero accountability. None. Absolutely none. Then went into the little bimbo babble talking about and I don't think that they were capable because I mean they gave me everything that they had and the rings and the cars. Nobody was trying to give you no rings and cars and houses. You already had that stuff. You went after those men because they had more than you. And so you was always trying to siphon off of some man because that's what you've been doing. You was a little industry pass around. Please stop acting like we don't know this. That you have been an industry thought for a minute. This is how you even got to where you was at because J-Lo, let's face it, you ain't never been that talented. You barely can sing. I don't know how many years of singing training that you have had to go through to get your little songs together. Okay? So it ain't like you some type of powerhouse singer. We done heard you sing, beloved. And all of that needed to stay in your shower stall. I'm here to tell you. Okay? They figure to help you with these little songs or whatnot. I wonder if it was Didi that helped her. Was it Didi helped her with them little songs? And love don't cost. When all that come out? Love don't cost a thing was her little thing. Let's see. When was love don't cost a thing? When that come out? $2,000. Right. I was right. So that was right when you was with Diddy. That's what it would make sense because of who Diddy is. So he helped you with all of that. You wouldn't have been able to do that little bit had it not been for Diddy. Had it not been for Diddy, that's who you deserve. You need to go back over there with Diddy. Need somebody right about now. And that's who you deserve. It'll work this time. Just go back. That's who you need. Did he need a woman? He needs some moral support at this time in his life. Okay. And since you never felt loved by nobody, and go on back. I want you to go back. Maybe he can help you with your little so-called Broadway career that you don't really get, that you call yourself, you got a Broadway voice. Girl, you don't have any kind of voice. I'm singing in the morning in my car to my commute voice. That's the kind of voice you got. Stop it. You were never no dynamic singer. You was a good dancer when you was young. You know, like I said, she was a fly girl. This is the first time that the general public got to know who or even saw J-Lo. You know what I'm saying? She's one of the fly girls off In Living Color. You know what I'm saying? They do a little dance break, blah, 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 blah. You know, she a little Puerto Rican girl. You know. And it was cool. Okay, so you parlayed that into a little career. I ain't mad at you. But don't start acting like the various men that you have been with have never loved you when you the one never loved them. You ain't never loved these men. You was running around on these men. You was monkey branching from man to man, using men to get from one place to the other in the industry. This was a classic. I'm sleeping my way to the top. You know what I'm saying? I'm sleeping my way to fame and fortune and all this kind of stuff because I'm pretty in the face. You know, I got a cute body or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Money done made her glow up. When, you know what I'm saying? She glowed up from the money when she started getting money. So, you know what I'm saying? You do her hair real cute. Now she got good makeup. Some women is pretty anyway. And then you give them a couple of dollars, that'll shoot them to the stratosphere. All you got to do is get them some good hair. Somebody do their hair real cute. Somebody do their makeup real good. So, you know what I'm saying? Somebody help them style and things of that nature. And they off to the races. They instantly become 8, 9s, and 10s because they was probably already an 8. You understand what I'm saying? So J-Lo was already pretty. And she done had a little work done, but not so much that, like she don't look funny. She went and got a little BBL and then, and she went from this one to that one. She needed a record deal. She wanted to do a little music. So she headed over to Diddy, slept with him for his help in producing some songs, producing a little album, whatever. There was little bops and stuff. That was about the extent of her musicality. Then, she head on over to these other men, try to get into the acting thing. She was never a real good actress. It was just all right. She never did know what her lane was. Because when you're not very talented and you just want what you want, this was a case I'm doing anything to get what I want. I just want the lifestyle. None of these things was a passion for her. Dancing really wasn't a passion. Acting wasn't a passion. Music wasn't. None of these things was a passion. Everything was one thing to move to the next step. And she used the men like that as well. These men were influential. These men had connections. These men had money. These men had resources. And so you can't tell me that none of them men actually loved you. Because I just from the outside looking in, we know Ben Affleck loved her enough to spin the block. A-Rod seemed like he loved her. And I would venture to say Mark Anthony loved her too. Mark Anthony tried to keep her and tried to check her. And she wouldn't be checked. That's what ended that relationship. Because Mark Anthony don't look like he no pushover. He didn't look like he was too enamored by her looks or anything like that. Like, you pretty and everything, but you gonna act right around here. Mark Anthony just seemed like he that type of guy. You can play with him if you want to, but he not playing. And eventually she couldn't take that order. That's what happened between her and Mark Anthony. She couldn't take him because all that trying to be cute and then sassy and then you want to say, Mark looked like he didn't take all that. You're going to be a wife. If you over here, you a wife. And I'm going to make sure that you act like a wife. I'm going to make sure that you do things that I want you to do as your husband. And she studied bucking, going against the grain. And he said, you know what? Go ahead on. Go ahead on. We'll figure out these little assets and we'll figure out these little divorce proceedings and little divorce settlements. And you head on up out of here. Gave her marching papers, baby. Gave her pink slip. Get on up out of here. Because you were probably cheating and all that kind of stuff anyway. Because no sooner than Mark Anthony told you to get on out of here, y'all with the divorce papers wasn't even drawn up before you was in another man's bed. Baby, you have been the problem. And we know this. Getting on this internet trying to spin another narrative, girl. That's why I say she a narc. Because only a narc would get on in public to try to spin a narrative that don't nobody believe. She's trying to sell a story ain't nobody buying. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure. And this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.